and her family for the loss of her husband, Cliff. We will all keep her and her family in our thoughts and in our prayers. I'm pleased to join in welcoming Commissioner Hall before the committee this morning. The loss of 263,000 payroll jobs, an increase in the unemployment rate to 9.8% is bad news for American workers and their families. Unemployment is a severe hardship. Even if the recession is near its trough, the high unemployment rate is likely to persist for many months, if not years. A jobless recovery is no recovery for American workers and their families. Last January, top Obama administration economists predicted that if Congress were to pass the stimulus bill, the unemployment rate would not exceed 8%. Congress did enact the Obama bill, but unfortunately, as we see once again, the stimulus plan did not perform as the administration had predicted. Nevertheless, we are all looking for encouraging signs that the economy, while contracting, is decelerating that contraction. Financial market conditions seem to be improving. Stock prices are up and job losses at least are slowing. However, personal consumption remains anemic and business and residential investment continue to fall. These factors contribute to a very weak and stressed labor market. Like others, I'm hopeful that the current recession may have run its course. Given the normal lag time between monetary actions and the appearance of their effects in the rest of the economy, the Federal Reserve's injection of $1.3 trillion into financial markets between September and December of last year should boost real economic growth during the second half of this year. However, liquidity injections or fiscal stimulus for that matter cannot turn a recovery into a long and strong expansion. As the Chief Executive and Co-Chief Investment Officer of PIMCO, Mr. L. Arian, noted, temporary government interventions are unsustainable sugar highs. For the U.S. economy to enjoy a sustained expansion instead of slipping back into a W-shaped recession, the private sector must once again become the driver of economic growth. However, the balance sheets of U.S. families remain damaged from the collapse of housing prices and the excessive debts accumulated during the bubble years. The growth of personal consumption is likely to remain tepid as families increase their savings rate to repair their balance sheets. Although housing prices may be stabilizing, the large inventory of foreclosed homes is likely to restrain housing investment for some time. Therefore, a vigorous and sustained expansion will depend upon a major turnaround in both business investment and net exports. With regard to business investments and net exports, the economic policies of the Obama administration and the priorities of congressional Democrats are quite troubling. Business people make investment decisions based on their expectations of risk and return. In turn, government policies affect these perceptions. Unfortunately for the American people, the White House and congressional Democrats have simultaneously decreased the expected return and increased risk associated with new business investment through their actions and inactions. As a result, many firms are delaying investment decisions. Since new business investment propels job creation, first in manufacturing equipment, designing the software, building the structures, then in hiring new employees to operate the equipment the business investment created, these delays add to unemployment, and they delay the recovery. Higher income tax rates and higher taxes on capital gains and dividends will begin in 2011. Congress has not yet moved, though it is the end of the year, to extend the research and development tax credit and the homeowners tax credit, as well as increase the net operating loss carryback time from 2 to 5 years. These tax policies slash expected returns, causing firms to forego job-creating investments. For example, one major corporation, which spends close to $10 billion per year on R&D to pursue cutting-edge technology, may lay off some of its researchers if Congress does not act to renew the R&D tax credit soon. Confusion about cap and tax and health care legislation adds to uncertainty, further depressing business investment. Business people fear the additional energy costs associated with the cap and tax bill that passed the House and are unsure of what the Senate may do. The multiple health care bills of the Democrats leave business people confused about what additional taxes firms, especially small businesses, may pay or what regulatory burdens they may now bear. The prospect for a sustained boost from net exports are also dim. The Doha round of trade liberalization negotiations at the WTO remain stalled. 3 pending free trade agreements with Colombia, Panama, and South Korea have not been acted upon, although recent studies show they could cumulatively create 500,000 new jobs within the country, our country. Moreover, the President has proposed a number of very counterproductive tax increases on U.S. multinational corporations that create American jobs through foreign sales of our American-made goods and services. In one corporation, for example, American sales generate only 25% of their revenues, but nearly 1/2 of its jobs are located in the United States. The President's international tax proposals are, in my view, naive. They would reduce U.S. exports and jobs in export-related industries. The U.S. economy must move from the sugar high of unsustainable government intervention to sound private sector-led growth. Given the ongoing weaknesses in personal consumption and the housing sector, business investment and net exports must lead the way if the unemployment rate is to fall substantially. Ironically, many of the policies in Washington today are undermining these 2 private sector drivers of job creation, perhaps condemning American workers and their families to a very weak, jobless recovery. I yield back.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes Ms. Klobuchar.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And on behalf of the Senate, I would also like